Sahana vavatu Sahana bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome all of you for the online satsang of the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. So we are right now doing study circle on Sutra Vahini, which is the commentary on Brahma Sutras, which is one of the texts called Prasthanatrayam. So there are three. One is Upanishads, second is Brahma Sutras, and third is Bhagavad Gita.
So next one, number 9, the Omniscient Brahman, the cause of the cosmos. Srutatvatya. Since the all-knowing Brahman is declared by the Vedas to be the cause of the cosmos, a description and understanding of this sublime phenomenon has been made. The very expression Brahman conveys the meaning that it has the power of willing, etc. The Vedas that speak of Brahman as unconditioned and devoid of attributes also declare that it has, as its very nature, total beneficence. For, from the standpoint of the cosmos, Brahman is without qualifications. Cosmos, the projection of supreme consciousness. The Upanishad texts, which form a section of the revealed texts, Shruti, or Vedic scriptures, do not convey any distinction between the Absolute and the Almighty, Brahman and Ishvara. What has to be understood from all these Vedantic texts is that the cosmos is the manifestation or projection of supreme consciousness. If the cosmos is considered inert and devoid of consciousness, some might ask how it could be so invitingly attractive. It could not be irresponsive and dull, for it would then be ever the same. No, this view is incorrect. God is the efficient cause as well as the material cause of the cosmos. He has himself become all this. He is the inner and the outer truth, and therefore he is the light that illumines and reveals, that draws and discloses. May I continue?
Yeah, you can stop. There is one section, right? No,
it's still there.
Yeah, finish the section. There's one more paragraph.
Flour, etc. is mixed with sugar. Pistadi Guda Samparkat. It is said, Pista means flour, any flour, rice, wheat, or pulse. Mixing the flour with sugar sweetens it, Guda Samparkat. By itself, flour is not welcomed by the tongue. Sugar makes it tasty. Similarly, wherever charm, attraction, or splendor is manifest in the cosmos, it is the cosmic spirit, Paramatma, that is evident and nothing else. The Vedas make this very clear. As the Veda texts assert, the cosmic spirit creates, fondles, fosters, and sustains the cosmos, and finally induces it to merge in him. The cosmic spirit is the sole creator, the sole enjoyer, and the sole protector, and the master. This is the proclamation contained in the Vedas.
So these are the people may be wondering each time they say Shruti, what is Shruti and what is Smruti? Shrutis or Vedas are called Shrutis. Shruti means listening, because in those days no writing. So just the Guru tells, the Shishya, the disciple listens, and then after just by memory you can see how much memory they had. Then they have to transmit to their Shishyas. So it is Guru Shishya Parampara they call. That means Guru, then it goes to the disciple. From the disciple, again he becomes a Guru, and then go disciple. But by listening, they do that. That is why the Vedas, the thing is, Vedas, it is a knowledge which is transmitted from the Guru to the Shishya to all that. And that is why they are revelation also from the God. Because these rishis, when they were contemplating in their meditation, all these wonderful truths which we talk about, these various Upanishads, they are revealed, and those truths were shared with the people, disciples, who in turn shared with that. And subsequently, later on, all these truths, they were compiled by Vyasa. That is why he is called Veda Vyasa. He compiled into these Vedas, Rug, Yajus, Sama, and Atharvana Veda. Rugs means they are like praising the hymns of God. And then Yajus is where we do this yajnas and yagas. Sama is like the musical, Sama Veda. So all these things are said. There again he is emphasizing Upadanakara, Nimittanakara. So God himself become repeatedly saying the same, because we always, unless you repeat, it doesn't get into that. That is why these three statements, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, everything is Brahman. Ishavashyamidam Sarvam, everything is pervaded by the Ishavasya Upanishads. And even Vishnu Sahasranamam, what does it say? Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. This whole universe is nothing but Vishnu. Vishnu is all pervading. So that way, it is not just experiencing God. In the beginning stages, we experience God by going to a nice pilgrimage place like a Kashi or Rameshwaram, Shirdi, Patti, or Makkah, Medina, any place you go, because they're all holy places where the saints and sages have contemplated. But then you realize you can't confine God to a place and particular name and form. That's why first Swami here he said, first is this Nirguna, Nirakara, two aspects of Brahman. Brahman as by itself is Nirguna and Nirakara. Nirguna means no attributes, and Nirakara means no form. There's no name, no form, no attributes. That is the ultimate Brahman. You can compare it to like a huge ocean. Huge ocean, there is thing without that. Then Saguna Sakara, that means then you see something, the waves, small waves, big waves, huge waves. We are all little, small little foamies, little insects and all that. We are little small waves. And some people may be big waves, big bodies. But the avatars are the biggest waves because they come and create history. Saints, sages and avatars. But finally, even that will be merging in the ocean, Satchidananda. Ultimately, the basis, that is Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. And all these things, Saguna Sakara, whether it is Rama, Krishna, Shirdi Sai, Jesus, Buddha, they all have a beginning and end. They come, because they're born, they're there, they come for a purpose, and they disappear like that. but their principle stays forever. Like Sai principle, Rama principle, they stay forever because that is the essence. The stays like Buddha gone thousands of years ago, but still his teachings have really inspired and transformed so many people around. So that is why Nirguna Nirakara Brahman, but the Saguna Sakara Brahman is a way to realize that, because we all have body consciousness. That is why when Arjuna asked that question to Bhagavan Krishna, you should all go to chapter 12. So there is asked, oh Krishna, is it good to worship God as Nirguna Nirakara, or is it good to worship him Saguna Sakara? Which is better? Lord Krishna is smart, he has yukti, always say yes. Both will lead you to the same goal. But if you do with faith, if you have a belief that is Nirguna Nirakara, you will get benefit. If you believe he is Saguna Sakara, people like Mirabai, she attained Krishna, Tyagaraji had attained Rama. So if you have a belief, so you will whatever you have. Then he says, it is people with this, says, Kleshodhikarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam, says, I consider, Lord, he doesn't, that is the beauty of the Lord, he doesn't command, hey, do that. He says, I told you what, you do what, that is very famous, I always use that, Yate chesi hathakuru. I told you what is good to be done. Yate chesi, do now as you please, it is left to you. Even as parents, we have to learn that you force your children. I told you what is good, you do what is required. In same thing with the family or in the organization. You need to tell as elders good, but he says that. So this is Lord Krishna. Then he says, Kleshodhikarastesham abhyakta. That means this worshipping God without form is not easy. Klesham means difficult. Adhikam means more, very difficult. Adhikataram means very, very difficult. Lord Krishna himself is telling to worship God as Nirguna Nirakara is very difficult for people with body consciousness. If you don't have body consciousness like Ramana Maharshi, so you get it out, and right away you get the knowledge. But for us, we need to bring people who have body consciousness. You start with Saguna Sakara, but ultimate truth you need to realize that he is everywhere. That is why Swami beautifully summarized, you don't need anything else, makes it. There is only one God. You need to go underline, go on thinking about the word. Only one God. He is omnipresent. He is right now with us here. He is there in New York. He is there in New Jersey. He is there in St. Petersburg. He is there in Buenos Aires. He is there in Mumbai. He is there in Sydney. Everywhere that you should imagine right away. Hey, God, everywhere He is there. In all temples, every aspect of the whole, that aspect you should have. Even then you will feel when you are walking, see the trees, mountains. There is only one God, He is omnipresent. And there is only one language of the heart. It means the language of love. And so that is the only religion of love. So this is what we need to go on, this fundamental principle, then we experience that highest bliss. So then it will become like that. He's the example beautifully. So if you have flour, like wheat flour or rice flour, you have that, you eat it, it's bland, right? Nobody wants to eat it. That's why pistadi guda samparkat. You put some nice sugar in that, then you call it, whether you call rava laddu or Mysore pak or whatever different kind of sweet, but it's nothing but combination of some flour and some sweet. In different shapes and forms it comes. So then it gets a taste. Similarly, this Nirguna Nirakar Brahman, by itself we can't experience like in a huge ocean without anything, but the waves you enjoy, the foam you enjoy, something, icebergs they form. These are all the various. Actually, Sri Ramakrishna say a beautiful example is when you go in the ocean, some places, particularly in Alaska, in that region, they are called icebergs. So huge icebergs will be there. So, but even that icebergs, after time, will they melt with the ocean. Similarly, these avatars are like the huge icebergs. They form because of the devotion of people. That is why Swami said, because sages and saints worship me for thousands of years, so I came to bless you guys. So that is why this iceberg. But then they melt back ocean. So ultimately they were back with Chidananda. But to enjoy God, to get the divine romance, that means to enjoy his leelas, you need to enjoy with your form. But we should not get stuck with the form, because whenever you are stuck with form, you will be miserable. Like all this happened to great devotees like Gopikas, how much pain they went through, because when Lord Krishna went away to Madura and then he went to Dwaraka and then never saw them again in Vrindavan. So they had such anguish, so much pain that they were missing him. So whenever, and same thing Mirabai, so when it is all the devotees' life, you see, they go through so much pounding. So, but there is sweetness. That is why this, when you mix that bhakti with this jnana, then there is sweetness. That is why Swami said, jnana without bhakti is dry. And bhakti without jnana is just hysteria, just your emotional jumping around, and this. But you should have understanding. That is why we need to have. That is why you need to mix both. That is what he was talking about. That is the concept of Purusha and Prakriti and Shiva and Shakti aspect. So Shiva by itself is like a Nirguna Brahman. You can see it is inert. But when it through Shakti, the whole Prakriti is manifest. So that is why this beautiful concept of Ardhanarishwara is there in our scriptures. Not that God has half man, half woman, but that aspect female and male principle is there in that Prakriti and Purusha is manifest in the whole universe. Everything has that male and female aspect, positive and negative. You need to remember that. Then he says that will make you realize the truth. What will you receive? He is the enjoyer, he is the sustainer, and he is the dissolution. Everything is him. So that is, there is nothing but Brahman, nothing but God. That kind of experience we will get. Okay, Sai Ram.